All right. Should we get started?
Yes.
Yes, let's get started. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. It is 10 a.m. on Tuesday, April 11th, 2023, if my calculations are correct here. And I'd like to welcome you to today's Blitz session on REIN Statistics. Thank you so much for being here. And since some of you might be seeing a new face and a shiny bald head here, my name is Christian Livernois. I'm coming from the Rosenwomble side. I was there for about 18 years, starting as a resale and new homes agent, and then most recently have served as their recruiter and training coordinator. So I'm here to help Tim out and look forward to seeing you out in the offices. As always, for anyone watching this in the future, please be aware that some of this information may have changed. So please feel free to contact our training department with any questions. But I will say, from my brief time being here, that Tim Vohar and his team do a great job of keeping topics as current as possible. And lastly, as a reminder, this will be recorded. So for both buffering purposes and your privacy, you may want to turn your camera off. And of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to raise your virtual hand or use the chat, and we'll grab our presenter's attention so that they can be answered right away. And with all that said, welcome, Tim Vohar. Thank you for that. Thanks so much for being here. Let's get started.
Thank you, Christian.
Great
job.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to start off with sharing my screen here for REIN, since we're going to talk about REIN stats today. And let's get to the right screen. All right, Christian, you guys can see my screen okay?
We can.
All right. All right, so this is the homepage for REIN, REIN MLS, REIN.com. Either way, get you to this screen. So there's two things I want to share with you today, neither of which will be within the matrix. So this is actually tools and information. So over here we have products. You click on that, you come down here and you'll see Domus Analytics, which I'm going to do second today. First thing I want to do is come over here to resources. So I'm on the resources tab, drop down to REIN Statistics and Maps. Now, REIN has been keeping this statistical database for probably 12, 13 years now. And what they do is they pull together statistical reports, and I'll show you here an example. And they've got, looks like 6 running years. They usually keep 5 full years. So they do have all the data going back to since when they started, but they do only keep on the home screen 5 years of data. So let's take a look here at the March 2023 report, so you can see what kind of stats they have in here. Now, this report is the same report year over year, month over month, 35 pages. So if you see something on page, let's get down here to a page numbers. All right, if you see the new listing summary is on page 10, it's always on page 10. So there's a lot of different forms here or stats compiled into forms. So you'll know if you're always looking for page 10, page 16, whatever page, they're always going to be the same. They don't deviate from this year over year, month over month. All right, the same format, same definitions. So we have all the information here as we just scroll slowly. I think it's maybe a little lag, maybe a little me. I know people get a little sick to their stomach when I go too fast. All right, so there's your active status, back on market, reduced, increased, extended, or new. Settled sales are sold. New listings, date entered into a system. Pending sales, sold or pending, pending status date. Detached and attached, resale, new construction. And then the region areas defined and broken out. You have Southside, Peninsula, and then outlying Virginia, North Carolina, and other areas. All right, Southside is all of these areas. Peninsula is all of these. There's your statistics of how the year over year absorption rate and month supply is calculated. So I'm not going to go over each and every page here. I just want to go over a couple so you see that it's very similar in the structure and how it is put together. So we'll take, for instance, here, first line. This is the quick view months supply and absorption rate for March 2023. These reports come out about the 5th to the 10th of the month in REIN, just depending upon a weekend. and getting that data pulled. And they're always on the same day, unless that day is a weekend, then it would be the Monday after. All right, so that way it gives us a kind of a consistent basis for all of these figures and numbers. All right, so Norfolk area 11 through 13, there are 329 active units. That is a drop of 15.86. Units pending is 340. That is a drop of 12.6. Units sold 299, a drop of 18.97. Median sales price is 290. It's an increase of 7.41. Current month's inventory is 1 month, and the current absorption rate is 304 per month. So basically, everything that's coming on is more or less selling in a month's time. We can go down and see that from a south side total, 1.2 month inventory. You can see the overall south side total, 3.55 for the median. The actual pending units or the solds are down 26%. Pendings are down 23%. Listings are actually up 6.31%. When you add everything together inside of REIN, you can see the listings are up 11%. The closed pending sales are down 19.9%, and the closed or settled sales are down 25%. And that median average is up to 6.6, and the month supply is 1.27. All right, so these reports basically work the same. The only thing that's going to change more or less is the activity by property type and month, and then how those numbers are broken down. So this is now your detached multifamily form. And then you have a city version. So this breaks it down into as small a microcosm as it can possibly be by REIN standards. All right. So, is there a question? Okay.
Yep, you got a hand raised now.
Okay.
Karen?
On these monthly reports, Tim, I can't see, is that a month over month or year over year change?
So, yeah, so we have it on this one here, the one that's up on the screen right now. Here's your March 2021, March 2022, March 2023, and then this is the change in units 22 to 23, and this is the change in the median list price 2022 to 2023. So if I scroll back up, each one of the header columns will tell you what that change is for. So again, this is a change in units and then a median list price change. So each one of the headers will give you whether it's year over year or month over month, depending upon the report you're looking at. This particular one is a 3-year column report. So you can see, just taking Norfolk again, for example, the median list in 2021 was 372,650. The average was 429. And you can see it increased to 414, 775, and 530. It dropped a little bit from a median perspective in 2023, and it dropped significantly as an average in 2023 from the 2022s.
Yeah, that's really helpful. Thanks. I didn't know these were here.
And then I'm going to scroll down one more, and this is going to be your summary report. And you'll see here that this is January, February, March. There's nothing else. If you look each year, this report will grow as they add in the month that is proceeding. So at this point in 2023, there have been 5,677 new listings on the south side and 2,238 listings on the peninsula for a total of 7,915, which is a decrease of 16.99% from 2022. And then when I scroll down to the next one, we're going to go from listings into by property type per month right here. And we'll just keep going. Here's the property type, and this is a year to date. So here's your January to March, January to March 2023. And then you have the listings by city on the breakdown. And new listings year to date. And then we get into our pending sales summary. So here is now your pending sales. And then the next few pages after this will be pending. And we can keep going, but I'm not going to keep going because it's all the same format. The only thing that changes are from listings to pending to closed transactions. So that is the REIN report that they put together for us. So those are there, very easy to access, and I will share my screen again. And whoops, I didn't close this. Hold on 1 second. Let me close this one out. So I go back into this report right away. And let me share that screen. And that's the statistics reports. And you can see that that's all here, year over year, month over month, all right there. Next down is the questions on any of that before I move on. All right, this is the quarterly residential report. Again, 5 full years, and then whatever piece year we are on. I'll go to the January through March, Q1. All right, so here's your settled sales detached Q1. And again, this is now January through March. So this is more or less going to be a report that gives you what happened from January 2022 through March 2022 compared with January 2023 to March 2023. This will be your over change in units. This is your median list price change. Again, this is a one-line report. So this just gives you the quarter over quarter view. Okay. Then there are the monthly charts and graphs. And I could look at active listings by month, average days on the market for all off market, settled sales versus median, active listings versus month supplies, supply of inventory versus the absorption rate, and the breakdown of residential properties. So I'll just pull up the first one. We'll just look at one of them here. Because as you can see, it is a graph chart and it is very significantly data driven. So you can see here we were in April of 16. That might be May or June of 16 as I'm trying to look up the line. So it's not real interactive. So it's just a bar graph. All of these are just similar to that. So again, you have these monthly charts and graphs. Now this is, let's do Newport News. So this is your graph by the city, and I'm going to scroll down just a little bit here so you can see the sold data, the average days on market, the median list price, and the median sales price with all of these different bar graphs. So again, you got a chart, very heavily data driven. If you're data driven, your clients are data driven, these charts might be what you're looking for. If you're like me, they can be a little overwhelming to read and look at, and you may not want to use them, which is fine too. But again, if you have somebody who's very data analytical driven and you need these charts to show them when you're going on a listing presentation or when you're looking for a price change, definitely something that can come into factor here. And again, some of these things you're not going to use now in the market we're in. They'll be more helpful in a market where there's more properties. All right, distressed charts. Again, and then annual charts and graphs. Again, I'm not going to get into the depth weeds on these. You just can see here that REIN has a great number of charts for you all to use and utilize. All right, before I click off this screen, does anybody have any questions on any of these? All right, let's stop sharing that. And let me get over here to, let's make sure we get all the way back to the beginning so we look at this screen from the get-go. All right. And let me share my screen again. Now I'm going to switch over and show you Domus Analytics tool within REIN. All right, so this is going to be more of just a brief overview, not as in depth, because I usually just do a whole DOMIS class. So this is just going to be a where do I find DOMIS in a quick overview. All right, so over here we go to products. We come down to DOMIS Analytics. And now we have our interactive statistics. So I'm just going to scroll down. And as I'm scrolling down, you'll see little cogs going around. That's actually generating the data right now as it exists at this moment. Now it looks like there's some errors. Yep, there's an error. Let's see, maybe it went away. There's some kind of unknown error. So let me see if I can refresh this. I think that can go away. There we go. All right, now first off, I'm going to scroll to the bottom because here are the other tools for the DOMIS, which I'm not going to do in depth today. I just did those in depth about 2 weeks ago, so we do have a video on that. If you want more in depth, shoot an email to training@bhhstown.com, and we will send you the link for the YouTube for the in-depth DOMIS. So right now you have the weekly trends, the market insights, pricing insights, and market snapshot. You can click on and you will get a very interactive situation like this. This here is the main DOMIS market review. So I just want to give you a quick overview. You have a couple of different types here. You've got residential detached, attached, multifamily, and land. If you were trying to do all of the residential attached, detached, you could uncheck those. That'll show you the March 2020 review for residential, detached, and attached. And these all change as we go. All right, 5 regions selected. If you only wanted Greater Williamsburg, you could click that and you would get the Greater Williamsburg information. If you wanted to drill down even further in that, you could say, I only want New Kent County. And then this data will change relevant to New Kent County. If I go back up here and say, I really wanted the South Side, take out Greater Williamsburg, this list over here is going to change and it's going to give me all the cities. And I could say, I want Suffolk. And here comes all the Suffolk data for the market review. Right now, this is compared to March 2022. So this is year over year. This column here is compared to February 2023. So it is month over month. You can also come to this drop down and say, oh, what were the stats at the end of the year in 2022? Changes to December 2022. This now gives you compared to December 2021 and compared to November 2022, and it changes those stats for you. And this gives me a 13-month. If I wanted a year to date, drag that little button over, and now I'm getting a year to date on this stats. So year to date, January through December, and compared to 2021, here's where we are from that perspective. I want to turn that back, just drag that back over. Come on, there we go. Whoops. There we go. All right, so let's just take this out. Let's do all of REIN, residential properties, all of REIN, residential properties, and change this back to March 2023.
Hey, Tim, we have a question.
Sure.
Karen?
Are you limited to a year-to-date function only for years that are already complete, or can you do a year-to-date 2023?
Year to date would be for 2023. If I come back here and I wanted to get August 2022, now I've gotten the stats compared to 2021, and this would be January through August 2022. Not sure that, I mean, is that the question you're asking? Can you change it? And then this column will adjust as a year to date?
Well, at the way that you had the settings at the time that you first switched to year to date, it was comparing to it was comparing 2022 completion to December 2022. So I was just wondering, can you do a year to date that does 2023 up to actual date? So in other words, that you would have the most current, that's what I was asking. Thanks.
Okay, sure. So yes, and again, this is through March 31. So this is not through April, this is through March 31. And as I change, those stats become relative to that time, these headers here. So again, it's through the end of the month. It's not a current year to date as if you're talking April 11th. It's talking March 31st.
Got it. Thank you.
Sure, you're welcome. All right. And then let's just show you what you got here. You got the median sales price, you got the settled sales, you got median days on market, average percent of list price, median, new listings, active inventory, and month supply. And you can see the green arrows and the red arrows indicating up and down over the comparative month that's being used. All right, that is the overview of the REIN Stats and Domus Analytics. Again, I could spend 30 full minutes doing Domus Analytics with the 5 different tools they have and changing things around. So feel free to come in and use this. If you are using the Town Realty website, currently this Domus Analytics is built into the website. So you have this accessible. If you are using the Rose and Womble enhanced websites and you're going to be changing over to the Berkshire Hathaway Town, soon to be RW Town websites, this will be embedded in those websites as well. So clients can actually come in here and utilize this tool, and they are able to change the settings as well. So they'll be able to see what they are for as specific as they possibly can in their marketplace. All right. Any other questions? Any questions from anyone? All right. No questions. I'll thank everybody for being here. And Christian, you want to remind them what the rest of today looks like?
Yeah, I actually do. You got one from, looks like Lewis's hand is up.
Okay.
Lewis?
Yeah, Tim, you just told me something I didn't know, that the Domus was embedded in our Reliance website.
Yes.
Do you have any idea where a client would be able to get to that?
That is a great question that we will get Kristen, not Christian. We'll get Kristen Fredericks to answer for us, and I will shoot it out to you. Lewis, you stumped me because I figured if anybody knew where it was you. Because Kristen showed it when we did, 2 weeks ago. She showed where it was. So let me get on her or get with her, and we will get an answer back out to everybody on that. And I will definitely know where to be able to show it to you on Friday. If anybody comes around on Friday for Live with Tim, I will definitely be able to demonstrate the answer to that live for anybody.
And Domus is very, very useful, especially when you're talking pricing to your clients, and
Yes,
especially if you're looking for a price reduction. If you started at a higher price, and that's usually client driven, and you have to show them the direction that the market is heading, and Domus will actually let you get into as low as a subdivision, which you can drill down to the subdivision, which is extremely helpful.
Yes, it is. And if you're asking, he didn't show the subdivision, there's a different tab. And again, if you send an email to training, we will send you that YouTube video from last time and pull that up for you.
Awesome. Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you, Tim, for doing that. And just as a reminder, we'll be back at 11 a.m. with HSF Resource Center, which is pretty awesome. As a newbie to that, it's great to see all the discounts that are available. And then 12 o'clock, CRM clients, both will be with Tim Vohar. And then we'll be back at 1 o'clock with 210 Home Buyers Warranty with Kim Nelson. So I look forward to seeing you all back for that. Thank you, Tim, again. Thank you all for being here, for the questions. These things are incredibly helpful, and we'll see you soon.